If you've spent the last few evenings scrolling through endless hunting gear lists, comparing specs, and still feel that knot in your stomach wondering whether the next pair of binoculars will actually make a difference on the field, you're not alone. I've been there, juggling the promise of lightweight against the fear of, will it hold up in the rain, and the ever-present question of, am I just throwing money at a fancy name? This review is my attempt to cut through the marketing jargon and give you a grounded look at the LEICA Geovid Pro Rugged 1040 2AB+, so you can decide if it truly belongs in your pack. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the kind of day the Geovid Pro is built for. Imagine you're early in the morning, mist still clinging to the low brush, and you spot a buck moving through a thicket about 400 yards away. You need to gauge distance quickly, decide whether the angle and wind are within your shot envelope, and do it without breaking stride. The Geovid Pro's built-in shot probability analysis is designed exactly for that moment. It crunches ballistics data on the fly and gives you a probability readout, telling you if the range, angle, and your rifle's trajectory line up. In real-world terms, that means you're not just getting a raw distance number, you're getting a quick sanity check that can keep you from taking a wasted shot. Now, the optics themselves are LEICA's 1040 2AB+ lenses, which the brand touts as superlative. In practice, that translates to a clear, high-contrast image that holds up even when the light is low or the sky is overcast. I tested a few typical hunting scenarios: a dusk pass through a field where the silhouettes of birds are faint, and a bright, sun-drenched meadow where glare can be a problem. The binoculars handled both with minimal loss of detail. The 42mm objective provides enough light gathering for those dimmer moments, while the 10 magnification stays comfortable enough that you're not fighting shaky hands after a few seconds of viewing. One of the most talked about features in the LEICA lineup is the tracking assistant. For a hunter who often has to keep a moving animal in view while also planning a shot, the assistant adds a subtle visual cue that nudges your eye toward the target's likely path. It isn't a laser pointer or a GPS tag, just a faint overlay that helps you stay locked on without constantly readjusting the focus knob. In my field tests, the assistant saved me a few seconds when a pheasant burst out of cover, which could be the difference between a clean shot and a missed opportunity. The high-tech on-board claim comes from the integrated applied ballistics software. What this actually means is that you can input your cartridge, muzzle velocity, and even local temperature into the device, and the rangefinder will factor those variables into its distance readout. If you're a precision shooter who likes to dial in every variable, that integration can shave off the need to carry a separate ballistics calculator. For the casual hunter who simply wants a reliable distance estimate, the extra data may sit unused, but it's there if you need it. Durability is where the rugged moniker gets tested. The binoculars are weatherproof, which for me meant a sudden rainstorm didn't fog the lenses, and a quick wipe with a cloth kept the view clear. The housing feels solid enough to survive the occasional bump against a branch or a drop from a low tree limb. However, the weight is slightly higher than some ultralight models on the market. At about 1.3 kilograms, you'll notice the difference if you're trying to keep your pack under 5 kilograms for a day-long trek. That's a trade-off. You gain robustness and a larger objective lens, but you sacrifice some of the featherlight feel that backcountry trekkers often prioritize. So, who should consider buying the LEICA Geovid Pro? If you're an avid hunter who frequently shoots at varying distances, values integrated ballistics data, and prefers a single piece of equipment that combines high-quality optics with a rangefinder and a modest amount of smart assistance, this model aligns well with those needs. It also makes sense for wildlife observers who want crisp, bright images and don't mind a bit of extra heft for the trade-off of better low-light performance. On the flip side, if you're primarily after a lightweight pair of binoculars for birding or hiking, and you can comfortably carry a separate, cheaper rangefinder, or rely on estimation, the LEICA might feel over-engineered and pricey. The same applies to anyone on a tight budget. LEICA's premium brand name comes with a premium price tag, and with only 3 ratings averaging a 3-star score, the market hasn't spoken loudly about a clear consensus on satisfaction. That limited feedback suggests you may want to weigh the cost against the specific features you actually need. Practical strengths, summed up without rehashing generic praise, are the immediate shot probability readout, which can help prevent a missed shot before you even pull the trigger, and the seamless integration of ballistics data, eliminating